Good morning, beautiful being. It is lovely to see you inside here, out of the mist and mizzle that was threatening. I mean, there's blue sky out there, but it's cold and you don't know when the next shower's coming over. So we're inside with the rocks and there is no problem with that, right? So today, we're going to start with our little piece of fluorite. Some of you will recognize this. Yeah, it's a natural fluorite octahedron. And you sort of think it's all green, but this part, if you get the light right, you can really see it's actually white fluorite on top, and the rest of it's green. And it's just lovely. And look, you can see the planes through it. Good morning, Mai. Good morning, beautiful beings jumping on. I don't know who you all are, but it's just a privilege to have you share with me. Look at that. You can see the way it's grown in layers. Good morning, Sang Marie. Good morning, beautiful beings. So here it is, fluorite, and look at that, it's like lace, the way it grows in layers. And then it's got fracture planes in it, so it catches the light when you turn it, and yeah, I'm very fond of this. And of course, you know, some people say it looks like a pyramid, and they'll be right. There's two of them, really. So there you go. It's very ordinary, but it's still one of my favourite pieces. Although I have many favourites. Andrew, good morning. Good morning, everybody. And here we have a very ordinary looking piece of rose quartz, but that doesn't mean it isn't lovely. This one also has really clear fracture planes through it. And they catch the light, right? Because it is a fracture, and so the light it's obvious. You can see how the light diffuses through the stone. And I really enjoy that. It's beautiful. So there we are, all this wonderful stony shininess. You have time to watch the full live. Yes, you're not running around being very, very busy in Limbambulu anymore. You're back to Mansakonko and relative sanity. Just a lot of study, Sang Marie. So yay. Sang Marie's been very, very busy for 6 weeks and now getting back to just being busy, which is definitely a relief, although it was really good. More about that in 3.5 hours. So this is a piece that has just come to stay at my house from my friend Jenny Paulo, because I decided it was time to do a hostage swap, and I took the last box back and I brought a new box with me, which is just, I feel so privileged. I get to borrow these things. Obviously this is amethyst, but look at all the inclusions. And you might say it's got the pox. I don't even know what this black stuff is, because it hasn't got anything on it to say what it is. But isn't it fabulous? Look at this. It's just all these planes. It's a bit like, you know, like a rock formation, which I mean it is, but, you know, it's sort of grown like a fan. That's this little label. This has come from Madagascar. I know that the MG means Madagascar. And it's just glorious. Look at all those different shapes. So this is our little star of the show today. Oh, there you go. Now you can really see the colour. Catch the light through it. And the shape. I mean, isn't it wonderful? She just knows how to find them. You know, she really knows how to find beautiful rocks. So, there you go. Those are our rocks for the day. We're going to have some pretty glorious things to explore in the new box. So, today being my Monday and Sunday for quite a few of you. Good morning, Ollie! I want to talk about a little comment that one of you made. Today is not Monday. See, I lose track of time. I'm allowed because yesterday was a public holiday, so it didn't feel like a school day, so to speak. So today's Tuesday. No kidding. And there was a little comment that one of you made yesterday about, gee, I just can't wait until I'm different. This is a short version. And I thought, yes, we can really look forward to the change that we're creating in our lives. And that's a good thing to do. But there's a catch in this. There's a trap in it. There's a gotcha. And the gotcha is that if you are looking forward to something, you're not there. If you're wishing, hoping for something and thinking, oh, it's going to be so good when it comes, it's still not there. It's over there. You're here and it's over there, and you're not in the same place as it is. And as long as you stay in the place of hoping and wishing and trying, and I've got to get over there to get the thing that I desire and want, you're going to be in the place where you're separate from what you want. And, you know, I mean, that sort of makes logical sense. But maybe it doesn't, because it was like first few times from more than a first few times I tried to wrap my head and heart around this. It is human and normal, and how the brain works, to be wherever you are and say, I'm here and I want to be over there. And that can be as simple as me saying, I'm thirsty, I want to go into the kitchen and get a drink of water. One place here, another place there. One state of being here, another state of being there. Now in that case, my brain can work out precisely how I've got to get from here to there. It knows I have to stand up, walk over, open the door, leave you all sitting here waiting for me to get my water, walk into the kitchen, get the glass, turn the tap on, bring the water back, sit down, drink it, right? Or however I do it. That's very, you can predict it. It's predictable. I know how to do it. There's nothing in the way between me and that point of consciousness. So, fine and dandy, I can work that out. So I don't feel any separation from the fact that I want to go into the kitchen and have a drink of water. But if you are in the middle of the Sahara Desert, or if I was in the middle of the Sahara Desert feeling thirsty, I might feel an enormous amount of separation from where I am and where I want to be, which is having a drink of water, because I can't see the kitchen. It's not 5 steps away. You can work it out. So our brains look at where we are and how we're feeling and everything else and say, then they automatically calculate. You don't need to do this consciously. They do it automatically. They calculate what it's going to take to get from where you are to where you want to be. Ibrahim, it's great to see you, beautiful man. So it does that. Whether I want a partner in life, I want to be healed, I want to get a new job, I want to make money. It automatically, based upon your past experience, makes a calculation, and it does it almost instantly, about what it's going to take to get from where you are to where you want to be. And that immediately throws you into lack. Because if you're in the middle of the Sahara Desert and you're dying of thirst and you want a drink, there's a whole lot of stuff between you and what you want, right? So that's just being human. The problem with that is that as long as you are feeling, and I mean, if you're in the Sahara Desert, you're dying of thirst, you want a drink, well, it's short of a miracle, and miracles happen, but short of a miracle, you're probably going to die. Because it's very logical and reasonable, and, and there's physical facts about what happens if you don't have enough water and you're in a desert. But here in our lives, where a lot of the things we want to change are not like that. They're not about life and death. They're about how we feel and whether we get what we desire and whether we can create what we want. It's a different kind of challenge. It's not live or die. It might feel like it's live or die, and that's a whole nother story. But we still calculate in the same kind of way, using the same kind of mental and neurological machinery about how long it's going to take to get what we want. And as soon as you say, oh, I really want this, I'm really looking forward to that, you are saying, I'm here and it's over there. Very logical. Nothing wrong with that. The problem is that if you stay in that paradigm of saying, I'm really looking forward to XYZ coming to me, then you can't get the feeling and the experience of having XYZ come to you until it comes to you. And there's nothing you can do until it comes to you. So if you are looking for love and you're waiting for somebody to turn up before you start to feel love and wholeness and joy and celebrating feeling so loved and good in yourself, you might wait a very long time, because you can't control what's happening out there when you're in that state of being and saying, well, I'm just waiting for it to come. Then you are just waiting for it to come. You're just looking forward to it, knowing it's going to be great. But you're not, there's nothing happening, and there's nothing in you that is in the state of being that says, I have what I desire. And if you want to create quantumly, as opposed to with, here I am, I got to get from there to there, and that means I got to stand up and open the door and go to the kitchen, if you want to do things differently, if you want to draw the future that you desire to you, instead of having to schlep over there and go and get it, and obviously with a glass of water, someone would have to walk into the kitchen, know that I wanted one, bring it to me, and just give it to me, and that would be quantum creation. But I haven't put any energy into that, so I know that's not going to happen. the analogy falls down a little bit. The point is that if you want something in your life and you are waiting for it to happen before you celebrate it, well, it might happen, but you're not actually actively contributing to it. You are actually keeping yourself in the place of being separate from what you desire in life. That's just how it works. Because if you're thinking, I want that thing, the frequency of that thought and the chemistry that it pours into your body is, well, that's going to be amazing, but I don't have it. And you might be looking forward to it, and that's quite positive, but you're still looking forward to it. It's not here. It's not now. You're not giving yourself the experience of how it is when you have that thing now. Now, why is that important? If you can give yourself a real, visceral, felt experience of what it is that you desire in your life, before anything outside of your own skin and outside of your own mind has changed to even suggest that anything's going to happen, what happens is, remember that how thoughts create chemistry and then you get a feeling? If you can make that thought really, really real in your mind, you're going to have the chemical experience of having the experience. Amy, good morning! Now, why is that important? Well, let me switch from, seeking love, although it's absolutely the same, to talking about physical healing, right? Because this is something that I find a bit easier to explain. In part because I'm doing it, in part because I've listened to many stories of people who've done it, and it's a bit easier to explain just for me. So, if you are in a state of being, you're saying, I'm really looking forward to when I'm feeling better. You are saying, I acknowledge that I feel sick, I have this pain, I have this weakness, I have this thing that isn't working quite correctly, whatever it is. And that's the signal you're sending your body that this is what I'm feeling. And it'll be really nice when it changes, but this is how it is. That's actually what I'm saying. If I say that, well, it's going to be great when I get better. But that means I'm not better right now. Now, if I can actually do whatever it is I have to do, and as you know, I do this getting into very deep brain states, very states where my conscious mind is really not there to argue with me. Because the conscious mind says, but you're sick! So how can you be saying I'm well? Right? That's what happens. And when you're conscious, that's exactly what's going to happen. But you're alone. How can you be saying that I feel loved and the love of my life is in my world? There's nobody here, right? So the conscious mind just argues. It's its job. Its job is to look at what's out there and make sense of what you feel in here and tell you, well, this is how it is. But if you want to change things quantumly, you have to do something different. You have to turn all of that off, and that's what I do in meditation. Julian, it's you. G'day, Lynn. Hello. So, we, Jen, good morning, honey, can actually get into the state of being where not only I'm thinking, God, I feel good. I feel so well. I feel so abundant. I feel so free. I feel so whole. Oh, this is awesome. And you're not just thinking the thought, but you are feeling it in every cell of your body. Now, what is happening biologically at that point of time is when you are really feeling it in every cell of your body, you are feeling it in every cell of your body. And while you are feeling it in every cell of your body, I'm this, yes, I did it, or whatever it is. Your body is literally getting that electromagnetic signal. It's getting the chemistry. It's getting a different kind of pressure wave from your heart. It's getting a different electromagnetic signal from your heart. It's getting different hormones. Everything is changing because you are really in that state of havingness of whatever it is that you desire. So physically, those of you listening to me rave on for long enough and understand, the thought creates, the neurotransmitter creates the hormones which impact your cells and literally changes your epigenetic expression in the moment. For as long as you sustain that, you are giving your body the chemical, neurological, biochemical, everything else signal that says you're healed. And if you do that consistently enough and or powerfully enough, you will get healed. I'm speaking from experience here. I'm in the process. I'm doing it. And if you can give yourself the experience of feeling deeply in love with yourself and feeling like your heart is full of love, it physically changes you, and then it changes the broadcast that you are sending to the universe. It says, I'm in love with life. I'm in love with me. I have this wonderful person in my life and I'm so grateful. That's a signal you're sending the universe. Then can say, oh great, they're finally a resonant match. Here comes this person. But you're not looking for them. You're not saying, oh, I'm really looking forward to it. You already have it. You're giving yourself the experience in advance of the event. That's why if you catch yourself saying, thinking, feeling, oh God, it's going to be good when, I can't wait until, you've put yourself at a distance from your future. And you have to practice who you want to be, and we talked about that yesterday, so much that you forget how to be the you that you've been being up until now, independent of your circumstances. And again, I can speak about this from experience. There was a condition in my body, and right now it's an unknown because I don't know. I haven't had a blood test for a while. There was a condition in my body which, doing natural and normal, is degenerative, and in the long run would cause significant problems. Not particularly scary, it was only a beginning thing, but it's a thing that is not supposed to get better. And I did some work, and I turned the markers around. And my doctor was quite surprised, so was I. I was like, yes, I did this. And so we thought, okay, we'll check again in 3 months, and I think it turned into 6 because of the pandemic, I can't remember. But when we checked it again, my turnaround had turned around. And I thought, oh. And here's the first thing. When my turnaround had turned around, I did not go back into fear. And I had enormous fear about this before that. And I just thought, oh, that's interesting. Which for me, I kind of noticed, oh my goodness, I'm not behaving the way I used to about this. I'm not going to about this the way I would have. And I sat with it for a while. I thought, well, what am I going to do about the fact that, this number has manifested on a screen, not even on a piece of paper. And it means whatever at the time that blood test was taken. And I eventually decided that it was wrong. Now, I know intellectually that the number reflected what had happened for whatever reason, but I understood that the reason my turnaround turned around was so I could perceive, I could have the experience and realize that I'm just not that person who was terrorized by my own, oh my God, when's it going to land and just get bad and painful and awful. I understand that that's what it was for. So that's fine. I haven't had another blood test because, the doctor says, well, that's fine. It's predictable. We don't need to think about it. We'll monitor it yearly or whatever. But in the meantime, I've continued to do my work. And the work that I am doing is about feeling worthy. It's about feeling abundant. It's about feeling whole. It's a lot about healing my body, but I haven't had any great specific focus on, I gotta fix this. I just haven't. I've just carried on working on becoming whole and abundant. And abundance is way more than resource. It's just, I feel, it's a feeling. And the other day, or maybe last week, quite recently, because, there's a few weird things going on, and I've just noticed my own reactions and response to these things, which used to be, oh God, what does it mean? And does it mean this is coming and that's, are these symptoms of some big scary ugly thing that's coming along? And I recognise, I haven't even been thinking about that condition. I just don't think about it anymore. I think I'm just the person who doesn't have that anymore. It's not a big thing. It just isn't. And you know what? I feel fine. I feel really good. And the symptoms that I used to feel, I don't feel anymore. And when they come back, which they do less and less, I know how to change my energy from that state of lack and fear and exhaustion and, this sort of swooning weariness would come over me like a wave. And I recognized one day that it was a program because I'd been out of the house, I'd changed my state, walking on the beach in my walking meditation. I felt fantastic. I came home, walked into my kitchen and woof. And I thought, oh shit, this is a program. Bugger this, I'm going to change my state back to where I was 15 minutes ago, feeling just fine. And I did it. And I've had days where my body was trying to be my mind and go back to being tired and exhausted. And I was like, no, I know you're telling me a lie now. You're just running me an old program about who I used to be. I am not that person anymore. And so eventually there'll be a blood test. And right at this point in time, I'm fairly sure it'll show me good numbers. But bottom line, I don't care because I know how I feel and I know that my body is behaving differently. And I mean physically, there's things that have changed which tell me, I know in my heart something's different. But I hope you understand, I hope you get that I'm just a lot less interested in, it'll be nice to get the blood test when it comes back. But I know this in me. It's mine. I am this now. More and more and more. I still have odd thoughts. What about this? I just don't want to know. I'm focusing on being the person who is that, who is healthy, who is abundant, who is loved, who is complete, who has the purpose, whatever it is that you desire, being that person. And if I am that person, whatever it is that I desire is going to find me. I do not have to go hunt for it. I don't have to go online and search for the right person, and I'll date this person and work out if he... No, they're just going to find me. I don't have to go hunting for 1,000 business opportunities. It's just going to find me because I am it now already. So if I catch myself thinking and feeling like my old self who said, oh God, I'm scared, I want to feel better, I want to feel safe, I want to feel, that's the point at which I step in and say, no, I don't want to be that. Morning, good morning, it's lovely to see you. I've just got time to say hi, because I'm going to disappear now. But I will be back in 3.5 hours to give you an update from our Sang Murray, who's on with us right now. But to tell you what's been going on in the Gambia. He's had a big journey, he's got home, he's had a lot of sleep because it was long and hot and dusty, and he's back, and the end of his second year's training is pretty exciting, coming up, so lots of changes and lots of things going on. Until then, if you can join us, it'll be great. If you don't, I will see you tomorrow with bells on. Much love.